Shalom, my friends. I'm Yoshua Yaakov ben Avraham. I'm making this video from Jerusalem. We have to give it a title, so we'll call it My Thoughts of the Day. Okay. Let's see. Thinking is transformative, we're taught. Well, perhaps, but cognitive thinking. Not thinking per se, because thinking which disables in our consciousness, in our everyday life, that shuts down the dark network, the subconscious, is not in any of the neuroscience models what is believed or confirmed to be cognitive thinking. There's a very much higher level. So therefore, the generality that communism and socialism tells us that thinking is transformative is not. Okay, so cognitive thinking is, but cognitive thinking is not thinking per se generally. Okay, let's move on. We're also taught that we consume 40% of the Earth's photosynthesis. This is true. And it's non-sustainable. That also is true. We're told also, and we're taught, that the evil civilization of ours is a real problem for mankind. Well, the civilization is not evil. A civilization is the result of the evolution and the anthropologic cycle of man's ascent and social organization. To the extent that man is fallen from Gan Eden and is in exile, we see the manifestations of that which is evil in man's behavior. So to say civilization is evil is a misnomer. It's irrelevant to say, because the fact of the matter is, when man is evil, his civilization by default is. So the question is, let's see what we can do about man. Okay. All right. So the good news is the exile of man has ended. So therefore, maybe we can do a lot more with the ending of the evil of man. Okay. So much for the evil civilization of ours. We're told by the various communists who have undertaken a world movement of facelifted socialism that a movement is taking form of 1 million NGOs that have no leaders and no creed. I would say to you that unless there's a central organizing principle for man's efforts to end man's exile and make his cognitive ascent into inhabiting the quantum reality of man's redemption and sustainable consciousness in his authentic identity, we're not going to get very far as a human race. But the fact is, we are going to get far. And the central organizing principle is, in fact, Humanomics. And but then, you're not going to believe me. I'm the author of Humanomics, and according to the wisdom council of the world, the communists say man is bad. Well, okay, man is not an angel, but man is not bad and man is not evil. His condition is in exile was indeed evil. Okay, so much for 1 million NGOs. Give us one Mashiach, and it'll put 1 billion NGOs to shame. Okay. We're also taught that change is certain. That's the only constant that is change. Okay, so I agree with that, and I think we would all agree with that. Therefore, my question is, since change is certain, we must engineer change so that we can all inhabit it. That's why we need a central organizing principle for man's ascent to inhabit the quantum reality of man's redemption. Otherwise, this 1 million NGOs and nobody, no idea, it's not a good idea. Okay. Therefore, what? Somebody said, who's very highly regarded in this, these former communists that have become socialists and have got, they're going to save the world. I would say that there's something that I heard that really, really caught my ear. And I said, that's a very interesting statement. And here it is. Consciousness and spirituality is the manifestation of the immune system of humanity. Well, I said, wow, that's a pretty That's a pretty clever statement. My question is, if consciousness and spirituality is indeed the manifestation of the immune system of humanity, what is it that we have need to be immune from? Now, I would offer to you a very upfront bias. That's a communist speaking. And a communist certainly wants mankind immune to consciousness and spirituality. So there's a kind of a slip between cup and lip there. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood. But I would say it a little differently. And I would say that if indeed consciousness and spirituality is the manifestation of the immune system of man and mankind, then we had better make certain that the vaccine that we engineer and produce inoculates us and makes us immune and sustainably immune to the vicissitudes of change and dilution and deprecation of what was man's exile. We don't want to go back to that. Okay. So if we can do that with an immune system that responds to a cognitive thought deriving from authentic human identity, then that would be a very good process to engineer and to develop. Okay, thinking is transformative, we're taught. Well, we're told it's a transformative act. It's not. It's only a transformative act thinking when it is cognitive thinking. Now, those are my few little thoughts of the day, and I'm the author of Humanomics, the trilogy, which is the post-East-West collapse of the crisis of culture that brought the collapse of the local reality globally, that ended man and man's exile. The solution, the East-West convergence model, is Humanomics in general. It's got a different name for culture-specific terms for Israel, Klal Yisrael, which is called Talmud Yerushalmi, which is the redemptive framework, and it's comprised in the secular framework back to the world's problems of the convergence between East and West. It's comprised of two paradigms: the new cognitive behavioral science first principle, which is receive it, give in Hebrew, kabel b'shulatet, which means receiving the authentic you to give the authentic you to yourself, your loved ones, your family, community, and the world. Okay. The second is the new economic paradigm, the integration of. That's the solution, folks, to the crisis of the collapse of the world economy. It's capital markets that brings us forward to tomorrow. So these are my thoughts of the day. I thank you for listening, and I wish you blessings from Jerusalem, Kabel B'Shviltet. I am Yehoshua Yaakov. Thank you.